Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. It's a big one. It's Newcastle against Chelsea in the Premier League. I hope you're all ready for this because for me this is huge. It's absolutely huge. We've had a really interesting day in the Premier League already with Manchester City losing to Brentford, Spurs winning 4-3, leaving it late against Leeds, and look, some really interesting results. But this Chelsea game at Newcastle, for Newcastle as well, it's huge for both sides. I really am intrigued to see how it's going to go. We will get into some of the headlines as well. Prattgate, Tony sat him down. Callum Wilson going to the World Cup, only good enough to be on the bench. I don't know whether that's injury, rotation or whatever, but he's not starting for Newcastle. Maddison may well be not going to the World Cup now, got a bit of injuries. Massive win for Spurs, because I cannot disagree. It's a big win for them. But let's just go through the team news, early team news. Well, it's been out for a little bit of a while, but you can obviously take a look at the team news with me. Let me just get it up. There we go. So let's go with Newcastle first of all. As I said, on the bench for Callum Wilson, they start off with Pope, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Byrne. Quite surprised Botman's not going to the World Cup for the Dutch, actually. I know they've got lots of options, but I think he's been fantastic. Longstaff, Gameres, Willock, Almiron, Wood and Joel Linton. On the bench is Wilson and St Maximum on the bench as well, so he's not quite back himself yet. Chelsea, let me just see if I can get this on the screen for you as well. We should be able to. Let's go to Chelsea. So yeah, Chelsea's lineup on the screen for you there. They've got Mendy in goal, Azpilicueta, Koulibaly, Chalobah, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, Jorginho and Hall. Gallagher, Mount and Broha. Thiago Silva on the bench. Surprising. Aubameyang's on the bench as well. Pulisic, Zakaria, Havertz. I mean, it's just more rotation from Potter, isn't it? I want to talk a bit about Potter in a moment because I think there's been some real impatience from Chelsea fans. I understand it, but to talk about moving on or moving away from Potter as your manager so soon just seems ridiculously early. Super excited for this game, says Simon. Mark, pick one player from each team to add to United's team. Can you remind me about that in a bit, Simon? Because I think it's a good question, but I just want to focus on a couple of other things first before we do that. First things first, let's have a look at the top 10. I just want to focus in on this because I think it's very important to do this. And as you can see, let me just get that up on the screen for you. So this is the interesting thing for me. When you look at that league table as it stands at the moment, Manchester City lost to Brentford today. Brentford went 1-0 up. They could have been 2-0 up. 1-1 at half-time, and then they won it in the 8th minute of added time at the end. Tony with both goals. Man City are 2 points off Arsenal, who, if they beat Wolves later on tonight, can go a massive 5 points clear of Man City into this World Cup break. Tottenham, huge win for them. I don't rate Tottenham. I think they've had a very fun, weird season, but they win the game today against Leeds at home. Massive win for them, starting to give themselves a cushion on the rest because, of course, Liverpool won at home today. They've got 22 points and they have got a game in hand on Spurs, so they can bring that down to 4. Man United playing Fulham tomorrow. But look at Newcastle, look at Chelsea. Chelsea down to 8th place. And if they were to lose today, Newcastle could move comfortably clear of them and back into 3rd place for Newcastle if they win. It's a huge game. We'll keep that Premier League table up on the screen for you for now, but it's absolutely huge. And yeah, massive game there. Wilson has been out of training, likely ill, likely unfit, says Alex Taylor. Wilson's coming back from a minor illness, says Joe. Thank you very much for the updates there. Appreciate that. Also, what a double signing from Juve. Bentancur and Cooley have been 2 of our best players so far, says Come On You Spurs 2000. And Zayn Meassi, he'll be excited. He says, Mark, after City losing, Arsenal are favourites to win the league. Viva the Arteta revolution. Zayn, I think there's a long way to go. I don't know quite where I sit on who I want to win the league. I've very much been an advocate of wanting City to drop points to make the league more interesting. I've always said that there's a vulnerability to Man City this season, which some people don't want to acknowledge. I think we've seen it again today. They are vulnerable. They've dropped points at Newcastle. They've lost to Brentford at home. They've dropped points to Aston Villa at Villa Park. So there is a vulnerability to Man City, and I don't want them to just run away with the league and make it boring. Do I want Arsenal to win the league or Man City? I've not really thought about it enough. I think it's ridiculously early to start saying Arsenal will win the league, but it's certainly a fantastic start for them And fair play to them for it. I want to talk a bit about Tony. I want to talk about Nunez. I want to talk about this injury for Maddison. But before I get into all of that, it's very important for me to say that we are on That's Football, but we are sponsored by Manscaped. And if you don't know what Manscaped is, it is precision engineering for your family jewels, which sounds a bit scary, but actually it's trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Manscaped is basically about this. Lawnmower 4.0. As you can see, it's got a light on it for a more precise shave, 4,000 RPM engine in it, adjustable lengths, it's waterproof, it's also got electromagnetic induction charging, so you can just put it in its battery pots, but at the end of the day, it is for trimming around that area, and it makes a very, very big difference, and it's got a good weight to it. It's a fantastic product. You can get 20% off with the code FOOTY and free worldwide shipping. Check it out, Manscaped. They also do the performance package where you can get the weed whacker, which is for the nose hair. You can also use the ear if you're old enough. I don't know what that's all about, but nose hair, I can buy into that. It makes a big difference in there. Performance package has got deodorants, ball deodorant, performance box shorts, travel bag. Check it all out. Fantastic products. All you got to do, scan the QR code with your phone against that, or go through the link in the description. Fantastic little Christmas present you can get for people, or treat yourself. 20% off, free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. It really is a fantastic product, and big shout out to Manscaped. You know you want to try it. It will make a big difference. Huge fan of you, Mark. Great to tune in on my birthday, says Shell. Thank you very much, Shell. Hope you're doing well. Will it shave off goals conceded for Spurs, says Paul A. Hey, Spurs fans, you should just be very happy with a win. That's what you should be very, very happy with. Massive win for Spurs today. If you've not seen the results today, by the way, I'll go through them. Fancy coming to Everton, Mark? Lampard out, says Paul Matt. I'm doing a very good job with my football. In fact, you can check it out on this channel. Don't miss my Football Manager series, which is doing fantastically well. Solihull lost 3-0 at home today in real life to Dagenham. That would never happen with Goldbridge ball and his vertical tiki-taka 4-4-2. We're taking it by storm. But just shows you what a great job I'm doing in real life, because that Solihull Moors team in real life is probably scraping playoffs at best. Goldbridge has got it doing really, really well. But the results today, Manchester City losing to Brentford at home 2-1. I'll talk about that in a minute. Bournemouth smashing Everton 3-0 at home. Bournemouth were at home. Liverpool 3, Southampton 1 at Anfield. 2 goals for Nunez. We'll talk about him in a minute. Forest with a big win against Palace. Zaha missed a penalty. It wasn't a save by Dean Henderson. He'd gone the wrong way. It was a miss of the goal. Tottenham 4-3 against Leeds. What a game that is. Leeds, the great entertainers, but they lose today. And then a very good win for Leicester against West Ham. 2-0. Leicester are up to 12th. Leicester up to 12th. They're only 4 points off Chelsea. Leicester, granted they played 2 games more, but Leicester have gotten themselves well out of trouble, and West Ham are dropping back down there. Everton 4th from bottom. Are Moyes and Lampard in trouble a little bit? Maybe you want to talk about that. But yeah, look, very, very interesting day in the Premier League so far. I do detect, I was saying this on the United stand today, I do detect, well, I spoke to a Premier League footballer last night. Obviously, I'm not going to say who it is because I don't disclose those sort of things. It wasn't a United player. They were basically saying to me that there will be some funny results this weekend because a lot of players are really in a weird state of mind about this World Cup. They're aware they've got this Premier League game and then they know the World Cup's going to start. And there's just this fear that you might get injured or something like that. I wonder how many players for Manchester City at lunchtime were going to the World Cup, because that's a result that you would never expect. You'd never, ever expect Manchester City to lose that game at home to Brentford. Massive respect to Brentford. But look, they've had 29 shots, Man City, to Brentford's 10. They've had 75% possession. But they only had 6 shots on target, whereas Brentford had 8 shots on target from 10 shots. But Man City only had 6 on target from 29. Very wasteful performance from Man City. And when you look at that lineup, Ederson's going to the World Cup, Cancelo, Stones, Laporte, all going to the World Cup. De Bruyne's going to the World Cup. Rodri's going to the World Cup. I think Gundogan's going to the World Cup. Foden's going to the World Cup. Bernardo Silva's going to the World Cup. So well over 80% of that Man City team is going to the World Cup. And you've got to wonder if they, you know, has it impacted them on a little bit. I don't know whether there's any other results today you could look at like that. West Ham at home, they just seem weird this season. But look, a massive win for them. And talking about the World Cup, I think we've got to do this. I did my reaction to the England World Cup squad the other day, and Tony should be in it, really. I mean, I cannot believe it. I mean, I mentioned Tammy Abraham and Tony. One of those two players has got to go. Callum Wilson is a good player. I was talking about this with Ben Foster on his show last week or the week before, and we both agreed that, look, taking Callum Wilson on form, absolutely fine to do that, but he gets injured a lot, and you're going to a tournament and you're going to play every 3 games, every 3 or 4 days. I cannot believe that he has not took Ivan Toney to this World Cup. He's a penalty specialist. He scored 10 goals for Brentford in 14 games. He's the 3rd top scorer in the Premier League. In any other country, this would be an outrage. The media just don't seem that interested in it. It's a bloody outrage. 10 goals in 14 games in the Premier League for Brentford. Penalty specialist. He's just scored 2 goals at the Etihad. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting not to take him. Southgate, absolute prat. I mean, I'm sorry, he is. Southgate and his bunch of favourites. I tell you, I mean, really, I just think it's really, really wrong. We need to beat Fulham tomorrow. Mark must win, says Rudy. Yeah, apparently Ronaldo's not fit. Surprise, surprise with the World Cup. Cheers, mate. Have a good time. Can Liverpool get top 4, says Dennis? I think they will. But yeah, look, I just think he's very unlucky not to be going. And my problem is not Callum Wilson going to the World Cup. I've said this before. My problem is he's got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Trippier, Walker, Ben White, and I think there's somebody else who's a right back. But you don't need to take 4 right backs. Whether 2 of them can play at centre back or not, you don't need 4 right backs. You also don't need to take 5 attacking midfielders: Foden, Grealish, Mount, Maddison, and there's somebody else, isn't there? I forget. Mount. No, I've done Mount. Whether it's 4 or 5, it's too many. He didn't need to take Henderson and Phillips. Like there was plenty of things he could have done to get another striker there. So look, for me, I think he's made a big mistake there. Conor Gallagher's gone as well. Of course, that was the other one. But I just also want to speak about Darwin Nunez. Look, I could easily go the other way with this and probably get quite a lot of interaction from United fans because, you know, slagging off Liverpool is always a good thing to do, isn't it? But I wanted Man United to sign Darwin Nunez. Eric Ten Hag wanted Man United to sign Darwin Nunez. He has missed a few chances. A few people have gone in on him, but I have been quite consistent that he will be a success at Liverpool. He's going to score a lot of goals. I've never seen anybody who is, obviously Erling Haaland, but he's a chance magnet. I know he misses a lot, but he's a chance magnet. He scored 2 goals today. I've not seen them. He's going to get 20 goals in that Liverpool team easily. How can he be a flop? People think Darwin Nunez is a flop. He will score loads of goals. He'll miss chances, but he will score loads. It is a skill in itself to get in the positions he gets in. And if you knew what he was doing at Benfica, you'd know he was going to do it at Liverpool. And Klopp is almost the perfect person to develop him. So 2 goals for Darwin Nunez today. He is going to be a success. Him and Haaland were always going to be a success. They're at the right clubs with the right managers and the right players around them. They're going to score loads of goals. Thoughts on Bray Wander's manager? Says Dylan. Don't know who it is, to be honest with you. So I can't really comment on something I don't know. What was the other thing? James Maddison went off for Leicester. I don't know the extent of the injury. There's been a few rumours. Look at the atmosphere at Newcastle tonight. Can't wait for this. There's been a few rumours floating around that it might be a hamstring. I wouldn't pay any attention to that yet. I think it's way too early. But yeah, I don't. I obviously hope it's not anything bad. I think we all hope it's not anything bad. Maddison is a player that desperately needed to be called up for England. I don't actually think he'll get any game time, by the way. I think this reminds me of what happened with Ivan Toney in the last international break, where Southgate bows down to public pressure and then just doesn't pick the player or give them a chance. I mean, let's not forget, Ivan Toney was in the last international squad for England, didn't play a minute, and then isn't going to the World Cup. So that's what Southgate does. There's a rumour now that Maddison's actually okay, which is good. He was joking on the bench. Okay, maybe it's a precaution. But apparently he's going to be okay, which is great news. Whether he'll get used or not is something else. Back to the game. The players are coming out on the pitch. Is Potter already in trouble at Chelsea? Did Bowley make a mistake in sacking Tuchel? You do see Chelsea in trouble to make top four. Should Tony go to the World Cup? Says Hay. Sabara goal. Says Toby. It was a cracker, wasn't it? It really was. Make sure you check out the Football Manager career mode. Look, I think Maddison's okay. It's just precautionary. That's good news, Alex. Thank you very much. I think that we have a situation with Graham Potter, which is not being understood. And surprisingly, it's not being understood by Chelsea fans. I feel like I'm on repeat. I feel like UK gold here. It's exactly. Got a feeling Nunez will bang after the World Cup, says Ben. Yeah, remember, he will be in the World Cup. I feel that I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. I feel like Beyonce. Does she sing that song, Deja Vu? But I feel that there is a real sense of deja vu here. And I'm going to mention Arsenal. I had this with Arsenal fans who, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but you almost feel justified with what Arsenal are doing, because so many Arsenal fans were gobbing off about how Arteta wasn't good enough. Arteta, get the t-shirts done. You know, absolute mugged themselves off. Basically should have printed on the forehead, I don't understand football, because they had no idea what Arteta was doing with their own bloody football club. And now look at the benefits of it. I feel the same thing's happening with Potter at Chelsea. Now, I can't predict what's going to happen. I never said that Arsenal were going to win the league under Arteta. I mean, that's amazing. But I felt he was heading in the right direction and deserved time. Potter's not even got started at Chelsea. I don't understand the criticism of Potter. I mean, he's basically doing a pre-season work smack in the middle of a season. He is rotating. He is trying to find combinations. He does change his team a hell of a lot. But that's just the way it's going to be, because he's been brought into a job when the season started and the transfer window was closed. I think Chelsea fans are saying they shouldn't have sacked Tuchel. Maybe they should do a little bit of digging and find out why Tuchel got the sack. It had broken down. The Chelsea players love Potter. The Chelsea players with Tuchel, it had gone really wrong and he had to go. He didn't like the direction of what was happening at Chelsea. There were certain issues with certain players. The Potter journey is only just at the start, and I can't guarantee it's going to be a success. But saying you shouldn't have got rid of Tuchel completely misunderstands what was going on at your club and in the dressing room. There was no possibility that Tuchel was going to stay and things were going to get better. It was going to get worse. He had to go. I think Potter was a brave decision. You could have gone for Pochettino. You could have gone for something else. That's a conversation to have. But Potter cannot be judged on this Chelsea side at the moment. He's got to be given the January transfer window. He's got to be given the summer transfer window. And I think we will see I'll say what I've said before. I think Chelsea and arguably Newcastle, this is why this game is so exciting. I think Chelsea and Newcastle are probably the most exciting journeys to keep an eye on over the next 18 months, because they're both going to spend a lot of money, and it's how they spend that money and develop those teams that's going to be really interesting. This game is huge. If Chelsea lose this, and there's every chance they will, Newcastle are miles ahead of them and Chelsea are looking really bad for top four. I think Chelsea fans will react badly to it. The World Cup's going to come and you're just going to have to be quiet for 6 weeks, but I think it's way too early to be going in on Potter. And unfortunately for Chelsea fans, if you're feeling that Potter's not the right man, you're going to have to be patient. It's way too early. And I would say what I say to United fans, I would say, look at what happened with Klopp at Liverpool, look at what happened with Arteta at Arsenal. You know, these things don't get solved in weeks. They take months and sometimes years. Thoughts on Leicester conceded 4 goals in 8 games. Turnaround of Leicester's been fantastic. What's the name of that Belgian lad at centre-back? Brilliant. Brilliant. Is he going to the World Cup? Brilliant, Harry. Absolutely brilliant. I think Chelsea fans are more used to new managers hitting the ground running. Tuchel, Conte, Sarri won trophies in their first season, says Papa. Yeah, but did they come into those jobs in September? I think taking any job in September is ridiculously difficult. Hi, Mark. What is the percentage Ronaldo's played his last game in United? Says Wah. First live watch along. I loved your FIFA clips. Says Az. Welcome to it. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. We are doing the World Cup watch alongs on this channel, so get ready for that. I'll give you some more details on that in a minute. Please do subscribe. FaZe is his name. Is he going to the World Cup? I hope he is. I haven't checked their World Cup squad, and he is going to the World Cup, says Donut Brian, which is absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate that. Yeah, so look, this game, which way are we going to go? I'm going to do a poll. Also, Enrique didn't take who is the Spanish top scorer. I don't care, novice. Don't compare Enrique to Southgate. You've just made yourself look a right idiot. You've just compared water to wine, which some people do like water if they don't like wine, but come on. Southgate ain't Enrique. Right, we're going to do a result predictor. You can go for Newcastle. I'm interested to see what people go with here, actually, because I'm having a think. I actually think this might be a draw. I'm going to go draw first option, Newcastle win second option. I actually think Chelsea might lose. Newcastle are in a really good position at the moment, and Chelsea are going through major transition, aren't they? So, yeah. So Simon did ask me before the game started who would be the players that you would go for. One from each team to United. Newcastle, I would probably take Bruno Guimaraes. I think Bruno Guimaraes next to Casemiro would be brilliant. From Chelsea, I probably still would take Kovacic. Again, Kovacic next to Casemiro would be really good. Yeah, from the players that are on show today, I think I probably would go with that, yeah. Newcastle are very good, bad. I'm very excited to watch this game. I'm hoping that we're going to get a real cracker. And as I say, if Newcastle were able to get a result here, it would be absolutely huge. Right, don't forget we are sponsored by Manscaped. 20% off with the code FOOTY. Delivers worldwide. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. You will be very, very impressed with it. Get it delivered to your door. 20% off with the code FOOTY. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger with the Lawnmower 4.0. Really does make a big difference down there. But the game is up and running here. Manchester United play tomorrow against Fulham. This is Chelsea against Newcastle. And what I think is the biggest game of the Premier League weekend. The one that I think everybody who is a football purist should be looking forward to watching. It's really exciting, to say the least. We've not really focused on the Chelsea side that much, have we? No Callum Wilson, Woods playing up front with Almiron and Joel Linton either side of him. But Chelsea start with Broja up front, Mount and Gallagher in behind him, and then Kovacic and Jorginho in behind him, which again makes me call out Southgate again. Gallagher is more of an attacking midfielder. He's taking Gallagher, Maddison, Foden, Grealish and Mount. 5 attacking midfielders. He doesn't even play a system that picks one. Like, he plays a 5-2-3. Make that make sense. So he's taking 5 attacking midfielders. He doesn't even play a system that utilises attacking midfielders. And also, why are you taking 5 of them? One of those should not be going, and one of them should be a striker, i.e. Ivan Toney. But anyway, back to this game. Cross comes in from Chelsea. It should have been 1-0. Why didn't he make a leap for it? Loftus-Cheek surely had a chance to get on the end of that. Was he brave enough? I don't know. I don't think he was brave enough there, Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek is a player that Potter really likes, by the way. Don't know what you think. Don't know whether we've got any Chelsea fans in there. Not actually that impressed by him. I don't know what they've got on the bench, but I definitely think that's an area that Chelsea need to improve on. Loftus-Cheek's playing at right wing back today. Maybe they don't really have that many options, but not playing in the midfield. It's Kovacic, Jorginho, Gallagher, Mount, and then Broja up front. But yeah, going to be a very interesting game this. I'm fancying a draw, but I'll tell you what you lot are fancying. 63% of you have gone with a Newcastle win, 21% draw, and only 16% of you went with a Chelsea win. So let's see how it goes. St Maximin and Wilson on the bench, but Newcastle have been nothing short of a revelation this season, and they're on the attack here now. Cross comes in the box, headed away by Koulibaly. What's for tea, Mark? I'm going to order it in the second half. I'm going to get it delivered for full time. Yeah. Brazil didn't call up Firmino, and Firmino is in form, says the Almighty. What are you talking about? So basically, I'm saying Ivan Toney should have been called up for England, and people are trying to justify it because Firmino didn't get called up for Brazil. Make that make sense. Daniel, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Chelsea have started off reasonably well here. Rafi says it was a stressful day for Spurs. It's a very good day for Spurs. That is a massive result for you. I mean, look, I think you've been very boring this season, so you can't moan about the stress when you've just scored 4 goals. The game has kicked off. That's why I've got the timer below this Chelsea team there. Oh, Loftus-Cheek has gone down here. Tony with the middle finger up to Gareth, says Dane. Yeah. Loftus-Cheek might be in trouble here. Tamori not being in the England squad is ridiculous, Thomas. I'm just disgusted by it. You know, if I was managing England, which I never ever will, I would have took Tamori or Gomez or Guehi because they're just very different to Dyer, Cody, Maguire, who are so fucking similar. Like, where's the differential options in that team? He's just so bloody... Southgate's pragmatic. He's boring. He picks the same things over and over again. He doesn't want diversity in his squad. And when I mean diversity, I mean football diversity. He doesn't want to have a Maguire and Dyer and then a Tamori and Stones. So you've got different options, pace, etc. And also, the second reason I would have took Tamori, Guehi or Gomez is because in the Euros in 2 years, or the World Cup, they've got international tournament. One thing I would say about Ericsson is he would take a Walcott at 17. He would take people like that to give them that international experience. You're taking 26 players. Why take 5 centre-backs who are 29? Like, take a younger one who is part of the future. But nah, look, I want England to do well because I'm English, but I feel that if we do well, we'll be doing it in spite of the manager again, which pisses me off. The World Cup only comes round every 4 years, and I feel that, you know, maybe we should go for Tony, says Shahin. Also, Arsenal winning the league before us, or City winning it 3 times in a row. I don't know, mate. I think it's very early days. I think it's fantastic what's going on in the Premier League at the moment. I think the race for top 4, and this is a big game in to do with that, is just hard to predict. And I also think that the race for the title was looking great. You just don't want Man City to run away with it. Whether I want Arsenal to win the league or not, I think it's too early at the moment. But look, you know, if Man City can drop a few more points, maybe a couple of other teams can get involved in it. But I don't agree that Arsenal are going to win the league, no. Because I think it's too early to say that. And I think Arsenal fans would agree with that. So make sure you subscribe, by the way. Loftus-Cheek is going off and Thiago Silva is coming on, which means Azpilicueta will just basically move to right wing back and Thiago Silva will slot into the back 3. Are you doing an Arsenal watch-along? No. I don't like 7:45. I don't like 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday night. Saturday night for me is not really. I don't like Saturday night football after about 7:30, to be honest. So, and I think that'll be a straightforward Arsenal 2-0 win. Wolves are so shit, and Wolves are horrible to watch. I watched Wolves play Man City a few weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a chance. Oh, God. Never again. I ain't watching Wolves. Unless it's United Wolves, I'm not watching Wolves. They're so boring. I think it'll be a standard win for Arsenal. So enjoy your Saturday night, Arsenal fans. I'll be having a curry and watching a film with a couple of beers. Newcastle on the attack here. Bit of a stop-start game, but I've gone with a draw because I just don't think Chelsea can afford to lose. But what I want to watch today is I want to start to see where I would agree with Chelsea fans is when are they going to start seeing the Potter style of football. I don't feel that we're starting to see that yet. Maybe that's because he can't get them to do it. Maybe it's because he's rotating so much. But yeah, I will yawn a lot today. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Been using Manscaped, haven't I? You have to lift it to go around. Hey, you see what I did there? Check out Manscaped, 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. There we go. It's heavy work, but, you know, I have to do it every couple of weeks. What film are you going to watch, Mark, says Sean? I don't know. I've been watching that one on Netflix, the World War I one. Was it World War One or World War Two? I think it is. No, it is World War One, isn't it? But I might watch something different tonight. Mark's the Football Manager GOAT. It's going really well. Really, really well. All quiet on the Western Front. That's it, Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, it's going really, really well at the moment. I've got to admit. And the fact that Solihull Moors in real life aren't even that good. And I've got them top of the league in the National League playing scintillating football. Yeah. Great. Great stuff. Madison is apparently fine, says Krista, which is great. I also need a half-time 8 for us to go, through. I tell you what I wouldn't mind doing at half-time. Player of the season so far. Is it really Erling Haaland? I mean, some people might say it is, but I actually would say Erling Haaland is not the player of the season so far. I know he's scored a load of goals and people will say, how can he not be? But he's playing in a Man City side, scoring good goals, but most of them are 6-yard away goals, aren't they? It's movement, it's brilliant, but it's the perfect marriage. But is he player of the season compared to somebody like Saliba or Martinez or Bruno Guimaraes or someone like that? So I want 8 contenders for player of the season so far. Obviously, Haaland is going to be one of them. I feel that you've probably got to put De Bruyne in again, haven't you? I'll say Chamberlain. Yeah, I think Haaland, Saliba. Who did I mention? Bruno Guimaraes, definitely. Martinez. So I need 4 more, and then we'll do that at half time. What do you think of Wales' chances getting out the group? Says Matthew Jones. And England versus Wales game could be interesting if England don't start well. See, I made that a bit of a jingle. I don't know what to expect from England. I really don't know what to expect from England. I think it's, it's interesting, isn't it? Jesus is player of the season so far. He's dropped off a bit, hasn't he, recently? I'm just reading. Keep them coming in. Player of the season so far. I've got 6 already. So give us the Koulibaly rap. I would if he scored, Scars. Emerson Royale. Yeah, I've got De Bruyne. Xhaka has been very good. Xhaka has been very good. I think you've got to put Ivan Toney in there, just for what he's done at that club for Brentford. I think you've got to put him in there, yeah. Jack says Almiron, Haaland, De Bruyne, Martinez, Xhaka, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes and Bella Kotchup. Bella Kotchup, I don't think you can throw him in, Jack. I think, he's missed a few games. They've conceded quite a lot of goals. He has been very good, but I don't think you can put him in, if I'm honest. I think we've got it. Predictions for the F1 sprint, if you haven't said already, says OLG. I've not looked at it, mate. I don't even know what time it is. I'll have a look at it in a bit, OLG. Yeah, I will. We've got the 8 for half-time. So at half-time, we're going to do player of the season so far. We've got 8 candidates, 4 quarterfinals. You'll vote in the polls, semi-final, final. Looking forward to that. But Chelsea on the attack here. Big chance for Broha. Big chance for Broha. .7:30 is the sprint race, so straight after this. That means tomorrow night, it'll be another one tomorrow night, won't it? But I think Chelsea have started off the better side here. Their passing and movement's been really, really good. I mean, we spoke about whether we're going to see any Potter ball, but I think they've started off really, really well. Here's Mason Mount. What do we think of that? This Hall fella. He's just put a lovely cross in. Mendy, that's actually worked out all right, that ball. Sorry, I just missed the super chat there. That's Football World Cup squad watch-along reveal, says English Talent. You'll have to watch out for that next week. Fancy doing this game instead of Champions Elect at Wolves, says Scars Music. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please do subscribe, by the way. We have got some big news coming out on Thursday, which people are trying to second guess what it's going to be. That will come... But I've got a big thing on Monday coming out, which I'm really excited about as well. So we've got loads. And of course, this time next week, we'll be doing the charity stream on this channel. Last year, we raised £30,000 for people with terminal illness. So don't miss next Saturday if you've got a bit of time or a bit of money. But a bit of time to tune in. It's always, we do it once a year. I really do enjoy doing that stream because it's the most important stream we do. So lots to go on. Newcastle on the attack here with Willock. Not really doing anything so far, Newcastle, but he's done well here, Willock. He's in the box. He dinks it across. Big header by Koulibaly. Headed away over the bar by Kieran Trippier. No, it was Almiron. Hay says, will you be doing a World Cup preview by group very soon? And which team outside of Europe, South America could surprise us? Senegal, Mexico, Japan, and South Korea, says Hay. Yeah, I will be doing my World Cup preview. I'll be doing a predictor as well. We've got a lot of World Cup stuff lined up for you on this channel, so please do subscribe. Did you see Emerson's miss earlier? Worth a look, says James. I didn't. And Joshua Bowater says, with Liverpool and City dropping points, it's making this season a lot more exciting rather than City or Liverpool being 20 points clear at the top, says Joshua Bowater. I'm absolutely here for that. A foul on Jorginho there. Yeah, I'm here for that. I mean, look, I know it's not Arsenal. I know people don't, like Arsenal. I don't mind Arteta. I think he's done a good job. And I'd much rather Arsenal were top of the league at this stage of the season than Man City because it just makes the league more interesting. Speed got a game-worn signed Ronaldo jersey, says John. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, everybody bends over backwards for the lad, doesn't he? He's living the dream. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I mean, Man United were all over him when he was at Old Trafford. I think he's been to West Ham as well. Unbelievable. And fair play to him as well. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. No Talk Sport tonight, mate, because they're covering Wolves-Chelsea, so I've got no Talk Sport show tonight. Mark's hosting the overlap on Monday, says Scars. Mate, I think we all know that's never going to happen in this corrupt industry where people spread lies and bullshit about you. Yeah, not a chance I'd ever get asked to do that, unfortunately. I haven't watched it. No, I can't say that, Travis. My score prediction was a draw for this, and I do think that Chelsea have started off really well. I want to just check. I want to get the stats on the screen in a minute. I'm sure they'll come round in a minute, but I'm a little bit concerned why that's not actually. Yeah, I can't get the stats to work for some reason. That's weird. They're not working. I don't know why that is. It was working before. Put a message. Yeah, I can get you the stat in the back system anyway. I think that Chelsea have started off the better side here. I don't know why that's not showing me that. Oh no, possession's 50-50. Got that wrong. There we go. Stats are working now. There we go. Perfect. Happy with that. Chelsea certainly need a result here. What do you want from a United point of view? Draw, probably. Yeah. Electric says, does anyone want to buy him a PS5 or her? Potter's overrated by the media, says Connor. Well, therefore, I've overrated Potter then, haven't I? You know, you're basically telling me I don't know what I'm on about. And I think Potter has proven that he's a very good coach. And if you don't think he's a good coach, then where you've had your head for the last 3 years, presumably up your arse. Because he's a very good coach. The question is he good enough to manage big personalities in a big team? That is the main thing. Ajax apparently losing, says Johan. Those players have down tools there. Would I take the Ajax job? I don't really fancy the commute, to be honest. Mate, you know what? Lol says, what's your thoughts about Arsenal going 5 points clear at the top? I think for the league, it's brilliant. Obviously, as a United fan, I'd like to see Wolves win. But I think for the league, there's a massive part. I've sort of learnt to do this, and I know some fans do it. But really, as a United fan that has, seen so much success, I couldn't give a shit about anybody else. I want them to lose all the time, rivals. But since United over the last 10 years haven't challenged for a title, if you want to see good football, you have to look elsewhere. That's just the way it's been. And then you start to respect and understand and see things a bit differently. United haven't been in a title race for the Premier League, so you have to watch everyone else do it. United haven't been in a Champions League final, so you have to watch everybody else do it. And you want to be entertained. So I think for the league, if Arsenal were to win tonight against Wolves, which I think they will do, then that just sets up an amazingly exciting Premier League between Christmas and May, because Arsenal will be top at Christmas. 100%, they'll be top at Christmas. There's only one... Basically, tonight is Christmas, because there's no games in the Premier League before Christmas. So Arsenal will be top of the league for Christmas. And they're going to have that lead, but they're going to be playing 3 times a week. They're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday. That's a big thing for Arsenal. Arsenal got to buy in January. I keep saying this. Arsenal got to buy in January. You cannot let this opportunity pass up because you don't want to spend in January. They've got to spend in January. They've got to back Arteta. How do Arsenal differentiate between title and Europa League? Because if you focus on one, the other one, you might waste the opportunity. So... Look, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, but Arsenal haven't won a league title in nearly 20 years, so they've never done it. Man City have won loads. They're going to be breathing down their neck. It's going to be really interesting. And I wouldn't rule out, I think it is probably Man City or Arsenal for the title, but I wouldn't definitely rule out that that's the case yet, because there is a vulnerability to Manchester City. There is. People forget that Man City are going through transition as well. They've lost a few players. Hi Mark, any current United players make their team of the season so far? Also love your channel and your commentary, says Ethan. I think, I am going to do a team of the season so far, so I don't want to ruin it. But off the top of my head, there's certainly one that makes it, maybe 2, potentially 3. Sack Potter is the new Southgate. Hate what he's done to this team, says MJ. I don't know what you're on about. I think you've started this game off really well. I don't get the Chelsea fans who don't like Potter, but it's dangerous. And what I would say, if you're a Chelsea fan who is level-headed, you need to drown these toxic people out. They're no good for your club. Same thing happened with Arsenal and Arteta. You need to drown these people out and stick with your manager, because it's way too early to make your mind up. And I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I'm telling you now, I actually want Potter to do well. I loved what he did at Brighton. I loved the appointment at Chelsea. I think it was a very brave one to do, and I hope it works out. I can't believe there are Chelsea fans wanting to get rid of a manager who's not had a transfer window and is having to try and figure things out in probably the most competitive top 4 race we've had for years. There's 7 teams going for it. I played the game. Scoreboard's gone now. It's all going wrong here. I played the game. Manscaped, 20% off. Footy's the code, delivered worldwide, 20% off. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. All right, thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Answer it myself, be fine. I went for a draw in this game. Very evenly matched at the moment. John wants me to start on OnlyFans. No. That's what marriage is for. Sam says he can't believe that Gallagher's in the England squad. I like Conor Gallagher, but if I'm James Ward-Prowse, I'm like... Blue Floyd says Nunez looked good today, could be a player there. I'm telling you there's a player there. I keep telling everyone there's a player there. I'd love him to have come to Man United. He would have been a bloody revelation under Ten Hag, and he will be under Klopp. I think Nunez would have done well at Man City as well. What time is the World Cup summer for the cricket? Is it tomorrow morning? I hope Southgate does play a back 4 threefold path. If we're playing a back 5, you've got to question why he's picked 5 attacking midfielders. Nice ball over to the far side. Joel Linton keeps it in. Bruno Guimaraes, what a player he's been. Cross comes in from Joel Linton. Good interception by Koulibaly. I take it Bruno Guimaraes I tell you what, let's have a look. We'll do this while we're here. Somebody must have published World Cup squads. Hold on a minute. Joel. Chelsea, get rid of it. I've got to be honest, I normally do a lot more... I normally know a lot more about the international tournament that's coming because I research it more. But because it's in the middle of the season, you normally have 3 or 4 weeks before it starts and you get really into it and all that. It's such a quick turnaround. I just wanted to have a quick look at the... Well, Mane got called up, didn't he? Which was good. Hopefully he'll be fit. As I said, Botman for Newcastle didn't get called up. I appreciate they've got a lot of good players, but Aki, Blind, Van Dijk, Dumfries, Frimpong, De Ligt, Malacia, Timber and De Vrij. I mean, Chelsea on the attack. Broho with the shot straight at Pope. I mean, to be fair, Van Gaal loves Daley Blind. Timber's got he loves Timber. Nathan Aki, Van Dijk, De Ligt. You can sort of see why he's not gone, but I do think he's very unlucky not to go. I think Botman's a good player. From the Newcastle side, whom would you take to United? Says Govind. Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, very easy. We're just reviewing World Cup squads while we're watching this at the moment. So that's the Dutch squad. England, get away. A lot of people are hyping up the United States. Don't know if we've got any American fans watching, but I looked at their squad the other day and I was like, okay, Dest, I know about him. Carter Vickers from Celtic. But there's, Fulham, Robinson, Inter Miami, Nashville, Mönchengladbach for Scally. Midfield, Aronson from Leeds, decent player. Tyler Adams, we know about him. But, there's Weston McKennie at Juventus. There's a few players there that Bruno Gomes has just gone down here. Hold on a minute. We'll come back. I need to see what has happened here. Did you see Neville on Have I Got News For You? Says, I did, Ethan. Bruno Gomes is down. We've not seen the tackle back yet. Yellow card at best. Yeah, yellow card. What do you think of Alexander Isak? Says Willie. He's injured, isn't he? Good player, but he's injured. I'm going to do the Yorkshire pudding, Goldbridge Cooks Yorkshire pudding, Lee. I can't wait for this. It's going to be a lesson to everybody. The US squad was better last year, beating Mexico 3 times. I'm just not sure that form will carry over, says Red. Yeah, I'm very interested to see the... we're going to go through the squads gradually as this game goes on. But yeah, there's a lot of hype around the American squad. But when I look at it, even in the attack, Seattle Sounders, FC Dallas, Norwich for Josh Sargent... Antalyaspor for Haji Wright, Lille, Tim Weah, J.O. Reina, obviously Dortmund, people know about him, Pulisic. I mean, they've got some good players, but they're not, I'm not massively expecting them to do much. Argentina's squad, Martinez, obviously we know about him in goal. Martinez at centre-back from Man United. Otamendi's known, Tagliafico, Romero from Spurs. Midfield, Enzo Fernandez, keep an eye out for him. I hope he gets some game time. Benfica player, looks really exciting. Gomez from Sevilla, McAllister from Brighton. They've also got Paredes at Juventus. And then Alvarez, obviously Messi, Dybala, Di Maria, Lautaro Martinez. Interesting squad they've got. Here's Newcastle on the attack. Feel like Newcastle are just starting to come into this game a little bit more. Longstaff puts it wide. Trippier's going to cross this first time. Keeper's going to get hold of that. French squad. Lloris will be in goal. Koundé, Pavard, Saliba, Upamecano, Varane, Kimpembe. They've got very good defense. France on paper have got a very good defence. Probably the best defence if players in the tournament. Midfield, Camavinga, Fofana, Guendouzi, Rabiot, Tchouameni and Veretout. I mean, I don't know why Rabiot's there, to be honest. Guendouzi is apparently much improved. Benzema, Kingsley Coman, Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe and Kunku. I mean, no Pogba, but no Kante. I still think that French team is strong. I really, really do. Red Harlow. The US squad was better. I've done that one, actually. Thank you very much for that. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. 32 minutes gone here. I did predict a draw for this. It's not really got going yet. It needs a goal. I'm just on the Danish squad now. So, obviously, Kasper Schmeichel still plays there. Kjaer, Anderson. I love Anderson, by the way, at Palace. I think he's a brilliant centre-back. Kjaer at AC Milan's done very well as well. Obviously got Christensen from Leeds. You may be aware of him. Christensen, formerly of Chelsea, now at Barcelona. The midfield, they've still got Delaney playing there. Jensen from Brentford. Eriksson from Manchester United. Højbjerg from Spurs. And then attackers, you'll know people like... obviously, they still... No, he doesn't get picked anymore. What was the name? What was the name of the guy? Poulsen. Doesn't get picked anymore. Damsgaard, Brentford. Dolberg, of course. Interesting, Denmark. Spain. Spain are Spain, aren't they? I mean, you go through the team, they've got good players. Fati, Olmo, Sarabia, Alvaro Morata, Williams, Torres, Pino, Xavi, Busquets is still there, Llorente, Laporte, Azpilicueta. You know, I don't fancy Spain, if I'm honest. Pope just passing out from the back here. I thought he might be in trouble there. We'll do Belgium next, but I feel like Newcastle are just building a bit of momentum here. Chelsea, not so much so. People need to put respect on the US men's team. They will get out of the group along with England. But once Gio Reyna embarrasses the fridge at the back for England, people will start respecting the US as Blake. No, there's a lot of people saying to me that the US are going to do well in this World Cup. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just look at the squad and don't necessarily see it. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, squad-wise, England have got a very good squad. You know, you look at everyone else's squad, and squad-wise, England have got a good squad. Here's Mason Mount, 2v2. Cross is lovely. Oh, Botman does brilliantly there. That's what I mean about Botman. It's a lovely cross by Mason Mount. It looks like it's going to land on Brahe's head, and Botman just puts it out for a corner. It's all hype with the USA, says Antonio. They struggled to qualify. Just looking at the Belgium team, still pretty much what it has been for what feels like 20 years. Courtois, Vertonghen, Alderweireld. I do like Faze of Leicester. I think he's very good. Meunier. They've still got so many players that were part of this 10 years ago. You know, they're going to be the dark horses. Obviously, in the midfield, they've got De Bruyne, Onana from Everton. I quite like him. Tillemans, Witzel's still there. Dendoncker, Carrasco, Torgan Hazard, Eden Hazard. De Ketelaere at AC Milan. He's an interesting player. Lukaku is there as well. Doku, Batshuayi, Trossard, Mertens. They've got some good players. Canada have not announced their squad yet for some reason, so we can't really assess them. Corner to Chelsea. Headed away. Croatia have still got a lot of players that you would recognise from previous tournaments. Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, Perisic, Kramaric. But here's the. I want to look at this Brazil squad. Let me just see what's happening here in the game though. Hi Mark from Croatia. My dad and me really like your channel and you thank you for hard work. By the way, what's your opinion on Croatian squad for the World Cup? Says Kaz. I mean, what's a good World Cup for Croatia? I mean, you went to the final in the last one, didn't you? Because you knocked England out. I can't see them emulating that. But I think quarterfinals for Croatia is achievable. And then you never know, do you? And much of it depends on the draw. I'm going to do a World Cup predictor next week. But it does depend on the draw, really. Trippier with the cross. Headed away. Or not headed away. Back to Trippier. Newcastle, it does feel like Newcastle are in the ascendancy. Azpilicueta heads it away. Thanks for the super chat from Croatia there. Don't sleep on Wales to get out of the group, says Joshua Bowwater. Some decent players in the squad and they all work their socks off, says Joshua. I think England's group's going to either be very easy or very tough. Check the Scotland team, says Lee. They have got games though, haven't they? I'm sure Scotland have got international games in... when the World Cup's on. I might be wrong about that. I'm going to check, but I think they have. Yeah, they're playing Turkey on the 16th. Next Wednesday. Just random, isn't it? Austria are playing Andorra and then Italy on the 20th as well. So these teams who are not in the World Cup are having little friendlies with each other. Corner to Newcastle. It's a good one. No, it's not. Comes to the edge of the box. Willock. Blocked. I just realised Italy are not in the World Cup, are they? They've got a couple of games as well. Albania and Austria. I mean, you just be like, I don't want to play. I'm not going to play. I'm not playing. Hello, Mark. Enjoy the content. As a fan, I do believe the US can do decent, says Kiki. Thank you very much. Mark, no Thiago for Spain thoughts. I never rated Thiago, by the way. Also no Sergio Ramos. Also check Uruguay. Can't wait to watch Pelestri. We're just working our way through YUFC, so we'll have a look in a minute. And Bain says, as a Canadian, I'm just happy to be here. We have a young, talented squad and looking to go deep when we host in 2026. What do you think? I'm really looking forward to that, Bain. I'm going to go to that World Cup. Mexico, Canada, and the USA. Wow, that's going to be a great World Cup. I'm definitely going to go to that. God willing, I will go. I loved USA 94, and England weren't even in it. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a great. I'm surprised Thiago's not in the Spanish squad, but Enrique's got his own ideas, hasn't he? You know, he doesn't pick the hair either. Five minutes to go to half time. So the Brazil squad: Alisson, Edison, obviously, Dani Alves. Is that the Dani Alves still getting picked for Brazil? Is that the Dani Alves? I thought he'd retired. He's 39. Wow. Newcastle on the attack here with Byrne. Went for a shot. Goes for a corner. So Dani Alves, Danilo, Alexandro, Alex Telles, Ed Militao, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva. Midfield, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, Fabinho, Fred, Paqueta. Attackers, Anthony, Jesus, Martinelli, Neymar, Richarlison, Rafinha, Rodrigo, Vinicius Junior. They've got some really good attacking talent, haven't they? Really good options. I think Brazil have got a good squad. Fantastic goalkeepers, experienced centre-backs. Maybe at full-back they're a bit weak, but midfield, Casemiro and Fabinho and Bruno Guimaraes. I think Brazil would probably be favourites with France for me. Serbia, some people fancy them. Switzerland, I forgot they were even in it. Could cause a few problems. Switzerland's got a few good players. Shah at Newcastle, Akanji, Xhaka's playing very well at the moment. Okafor, Salzburg, I like him. Portugal. I mean, Portugal are basically England, aren't they? They are. They've got the players. They just don't have the bloody manager. Hi Mark. This is from Ali. He says, hi Mark, hope you're well. I emailed you recently regarding representing Aranja in your World Cup watch-alongs. Looking forward to your answer. I can give you the answer now, Ali. We've already sorted out our coverage. So unfortunately, you've had your answer live. That's not how we're running our watch-alongs. So we're not getting a different nationality in for each of the watch-alongs, unfortunately. And that's been sorted for about 2 months. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, but it would have been nice to do it that way. But yeah, we've not done it like that. So sorry, Ali. Maybe next time, mate. Chelsea completely outplayed at times. Crazy how bad they are, says Zhao. No, I think we're watching different games, mate. I think it's been quite an equal game. I mean, I don't think we've had any shots on goal. We're going to do player of the season at half time. Just put that down there. 3 minutes to go to half time. I tell you what, I do feel for Arsenal fans. I'm sure the excitement of Man City losing has got them, reared up to go. But 7:45 on a Saturday night, it's just not football. It's not football, that, for me. Portugal squad, look, they've got good goalkeepers. Costa, Sarr, Patricio. Defenders, Dalot, Cancelo, Pereira, Pepe still plays. Ruben Diaz, Nuno Mendes, Guerrero. Midfield, Palina at Fulham, Neves, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Nunez at Wolves. Fantastic players. Attackers, obviously Ronaldo, Silva, João Felix, Leao. Really good squad, Portugal, but their manager is like Southgate. He's pretty negative. Somebody said, can you look at Uruguay? Uruguay, I mean, Cavani's there. Darwin Nunez is there. Luis Suarez is still there. Palestri's actually in there. Bentancur from Spurs, of course. Torreira used to be at Arsenal. Valverde, obviously, of Real Madrid. Uruguay have got a good team. I think Uruguay are another sort of South American Croatia. They could do something. Defensively, Jimenez still there. Godin still plays. Yeah, I think defensively, that Araujo, obviously at Barcelona, maybe that's their weakness. Why have I missed the German squad? Didn't see the Germany squad. I will give it to you. So, Manuel Neuer, Trapp, Ter Stegen, Carrere, Sulai, Klosterman, Gunter, Bella Kotchup, Rahm, Rudiger, Schotterbeck, Ginter, Kimmich, Goetz, Hoffman, Brandt, Goretzka, Gundogan, Havertz, Musiala, Sane, Muller, Gnabry, Adeyemi, Makuku. I mean, it's a good squad. I don't know what Germans think about Germany, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, Germany are a team that you can never write off. Hi, Mark. You're the best. Hope you and the family are good, says Brooklyn. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I've skipped loads of teams. I've basically gone with a lot of the favourites. Didn't even do Wales yet. We can maybe do them in the second half. Newcastle pushing here just before half time. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We are going to be live for all the World Cup games. Watch-alongs on this channel, so make sure you get involved. I'm sure you'll be watching a lot of the games. Loads of 10 a.m. games as well. So we'll have you covered on the United Stand. Not on the United Stand, on That's Football. And I can say that we'll be doing watch-alongs despite the news that's going to happen on Thursday. We will be doing the watch-alongs for the World Cup. So check in and get involved. We'll have a lot of stuff going on for you. But fairly equal game thus far. As you can see, possession is pretty much 50-50. Newcastle have had more shots, but Chelsea were the only shot on target. Yeah, they've basically cancelled each other out, these teams. And oh, now then. No. Newcastle want a handball here. I'm thinking it should be a handball. Let me have a look. Chalobah doesn't look too concerned. It's another controversial cross in. It's his hand. It's nah. He's got his hand there to support himself as he falls down. That's not a handball. You can't give that. It does hit his hand. I just wanted to see in what way, but referee's got that right. Ecuador are the team to watch, says Stu. I didn't see Emre Can there, Ashley, for Germany. Not a penalty for me. It does hit him full on the arm, but it's literally the arm that's supporting him go down. If he doesn't put his arm to support there, you're just basically diving full on your arse. You could break your back. So, no, not a penalty for me. So, Werner was injured, wasn't he, Cash? But they've got Adeyemi and they've got Makuku, who are both very exciting strikers. Whether they're ready or not, be very interesting. Some people saying it should have been a handball. Has he blown up for half-time here? I think he has. So, some people are saying boring. I'm of the opinion that I said it would be a draw, and it feels like it's probably got a draw written all over it at the moment. Can you just confirm? No, I'm not confirming anything, Darren. Chelsea games are always boring, says Jel. Well, that's a sort of legacy thing from the days of Tuchel, isn't it? Where they have been pretty boring, to be honest with you. But you know what? It is what it is. Are you going to do the Arsenal game? I was not planning on doing the Arsenal game, and nothing's going to change me wanting to do the Arsenal game, if I'm absolutely honest. One big team always never make it out of the group stage of the World Cup. Who do you think will not make it out, says Eric. I haven't looked at the groups for a while. I'm sort of not in World Cup mode until Monday. So, yeah, at the moment, I'm still very much in Premier League mode, which is why we are going to do, lovely roll in there, which is why at half-time we are going to do Premier League Player of the Season so far. So get ready for this. Are you ready for this? Because I'm ready for this. Are you ready for this? Well, I was ready for this, and now my mouse is pissing about. What are you doing? Twat. Let's get it there. There we go. Starting to mess about, you stupid mouse. Just before we get into that, don't forget Manscaped are sponsoring the stream. Manscaped is this beauty, the Lawnmower 4.0. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Yes, it's not for your hair, it's for hair down there. Worldwide delivery, 20% off and free worldwide shipping. It's got a light for a more precise shave. It is waterproof. Adjustable lengths for whatever you want to go with, and electromagnetic induction battery charging. You just put it in its battery port and away you go when it's charged. I wouldn't advise doing it in the shower, because when you put wet water on hair, it all gets very together, and it's better to do it dry. What I would do in the shower is I would do it, shave it all off, so all the hair is in the bottom of the shower, and then rinse off, and that's the best way to do it. But it is waterproof anyway. I think that's what they mean by waterproof. You know, don't do it like that. So 20% off, free shipping worldwide. Big shout out to Manscaped. Fantastic products. You will not regret it. Give it a go with the code FOOTY. Right, let's get into player of the season so far. So I've got 8 players. You're going to vote for this. Player of the season so far. 8 players, so 4 quarterfinals. Winner of each poll goes into the semi-final. Then the semi-final winners play in the final. So player of the season so far, you're going to vote on this. Our first quarterfinal is going to be, some would say he's probably the favourite. I disagree with him being the favourite, Erling Haaland. Yes, he's scored a lot of goals, but he's scoring goals in a team that creates loads of chances in the box for him. Most of his goals are penalty box goals. He is the best striker in the world at the moment, but is he the best player in the Premier League so far, considering some of the performances some of these players we're going to be talking about, one of which is Almiron. So it's Haaland against Almiron in the first quarter-final. Get your votes in there. Yeah, half-time, Newcastle 0, Chelsea 0. Potter probably wouldn't mind a point here. Even Eddie Howe might not mind a point here. It's a bad game to lose. It's a brilliant game to win. And that's why I feel it will be a draw. But they're both sort of cancelling each other out at the moment. I tell you what, it's close. It's close between Almiron and Haaland at the moment. Get your votes in with that one. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are currently only 300 away from 806,000. We are going to be doing every World Cup game as a watch-along on this channel. So get involved with that. Also, next Saturday, live all-day stream. I do it every year in the middle of November. It's my charity stream. There'll be FIFA, there'll be Fall Guys, there'll be God knows what else. Sometimes I do a horror game as well. We'll get all set up for that. All day next week, charity stream. Last year, we raised 30 grand. Unbelievable for people with terminal illness. I do it every year. So make sure you tune in for that. And then the World Cup starts on the Sunday, doesn't it? So we've got lots of preparations and videos coming up for you. Get involved, previews, etc. Haaland is winning with 53% of the vote. If you feel it should be Almiron, get your votes in. Haaland's probably going to be the favourite to win Player of the Season so far. I don't necessarily agree with that, but look, we'll see how the poll goes. There are some good contenders in there. Zemish says, how has Almiron not won this? Lots of people just love Erling Haaland, mate, even though he's a City player. He does tend to get the votes. Grealish has got all his mates voting for Haaland, says Volley. And Jacob says, people voting Haaland don't know ball, probably all under 13 years of age. And, well, I suppose when you compare it, you've got Almiron, who has been written off by loads of people, who is scoring worldie after worldie in a Newcastle side that is defying the odds. And then you've got Erling Haaland scoring loads of goals in the penalty box for Man City. You know, it's one of those, isn't it? As I say, I don't think Haaland's player of the season so far, just because he's scored 18 goals for Manchester City. I think any decent striker would score a lot of goals in that Man City side. But I do think Haaland's the best striker in the world. I don't necessarily agree he is the player of the season so far. But he has beat, well, I'll count it down. It's solidified at 53%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It stays on 53% and Haaland goes through to the semi-final. To be fair, Almiron did push him. He did push him, but it wasn't quite enough, and Haaland wins. So our second quarter-final, these are all pretty good. Saliba, who has been amazing for Arsenal. Let's not forget, he has been amazing. He's been their best defender. He's been a massive reason why they're top of the league, providing that solid defence. Saliba, and remember, it's his first season playing for Arsenal regularly. Saliba or De Bruyne, who at times has been just on a different planet this season, hasn't he? Some of the assists he's made. So Saliba or De Bruyne, get your votes in there. Every one of them is going to be good, to be fair. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? We did this as a poll a few weeks ago, and you always end up with Brazil and Argentina. You lot. I'm hoping it's going to be a really open World Cup, because I don't think there's a definite favourite. I still think France could be the team to do it, because they just look at the last World Cup. I don't think France played particularly well. They just had the years to go through. So I still think France are one of the favourites. People say Brazil are the favourites, but you know what? We've not had a non-European winner of the World Cup in 20 years. So saying Brazil are favourites, I still think that's a big tag to... They're big shoes to fill, because we haven't had a non-European winner for 20 years. This is tight between De Bruyne and Saliba. Mark, how do you think Australia will go in the World Cup, says the kid. I don't know. I don't know. Justin loves the polls. Oh, no one does the polls like us. They're fantastic. I really love doing them like this as well. So this second quarter final, player of the season so far. Saliba against De Bruyne. It was really close between Haaland and Almiron. Haaland winning with 53%, and De Bruyne at the moment is winning with 52%. In fact, we're going to count it down. He's just gone up to 53%. I think that's it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brazil will meet Argentina in the semi, says Manchester. Look, Saliba's pushed him really hard, a bit like Almiron did push Haaland, but those two come out on top there. De Bruyne goes through to the semi-final. Our third quarter-final, it's a good one. It's not Bruno Fernandes, it's Bruno Guimaraes against Ivan Toney. Bruno Guimaraes against Ivan Toney in our third quarter final. Toney's got 10 Premier League goals in 14 games for Brentford, and Bruno Guimaraes has been a revelation for Newcastle. It's been really, really, really superb from Bruno Guimaraes this season. He is the best Bruno in the Premier League at the moment. What classes as handball these days, says Stephen. Don't think that's a penalty, but seen them been given before. Yep, Stephen, you've basically banged the nail on the head there. Completely agree with you. What is a handball and what isn't a handball? I gave up a long time on that. So difficult to judge what is a handball and what isn't a handball. I don't think that is a handball on Chalobah, because although the ball hits him on the hand by his side, it's the hand that he's using to fall down on the ground for. So, but you know what? If he'd have given it, people are going, yeah, he's right. You know, it's really yeah. I don't understand the offside rule. I understand the offside rule. I don't understand the handball rule. I don't understand the red card rule. To me, if I was a manager in the Premier League and someone got fouled, I would tell them to shout really loudly in pain, and tell the referee to go and watch it in slow-mo, and you're probably going to get the red card. Tony is winning with 56% of the votes. This is the biggest lead we've had so far in the third quarter-final. I'm surprised. I'm not saying that Tony doesn't deserve to win, but I am surprised. I thought Bruno Guimaraes would win this, and I thought he'd win it rather comfortably. What would your England 11 be, says Jaden? We'll talk about that in the second half. The clock needs to stop. Yes, it does. The fact that somebody's actually noticed that is great. Do you reckon Arsenal really can challenge for the league, especially since we're planning to go big in the January window, says Trot? You've got to do that, and you are challenging for the league. So there you go. Recency bias with Ivan Toney. Well, he's going to win. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've got to say, well done to Ivan Toney, but that should have been a lot closer. People are really disrespecting Bruno Guimaraes there. Either you're not watching a lot of football, that should have been a lot closer than that, but well done to Ivan Toney there. Right, final quarter-final. Martinez, Manchester United, against Xhaka from Arsenal. I'll tell you what, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a 50-50 tackle between these two. Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more than that as well, but we don't condone violence. Yeah, maybe the 50-50 would be violent enough. So it's Martinez of Manchester United against Xhaka, who's been brilliant this season as well. The Butcher against the Xhaka. Tony in with a brace today. Suck on that, Gareth Prattgate, says Chad. He's absolutely stuck it to him today, and I think Brentford will get top half. Well, they're not going to get down again, are they? I mean, Thomas Frank has done amazing work at Brentford. I predicted they would get relegated last year, and I was convinced they would. And they were nowhere near it. And again, they've been brilliant, haven't they? So, yeah. Xhaka has been brilliant this season. I don't think there's any denying that. At times it's been weird to acknowledge just how good he's been, especially going forward. What a player, what a comeback. And you know, Martinez, as a Man United fan, the criticism he got from Mr. I played the game and it's all about the structure, Gary. You know, those two people in particular clearly didn't watch Ajax, saw a 5'10" player come in at centre-back and go, I played the game. You can't do that. I played the game too, Graham. You can't do that. You can't be 5. He's like Bilbo Baggins. Yeah, I played the game, Jamie. You're right. Bilbo Baggins, Martinez. So to come into the league and have that sort of stereotypical nonsense thrown at you and be written off before you've even started, and then be, for me, Martinez and Saliba, what a centre-back pairing they would be. And they are quite simply the two best centre-backs in the league at the moment. So, yeah, they've been absolutely fantastic, both of them. But Jack has been brilliant at Arsenal as well. Anyway, looks like Martinez is going to win this. 58% of the vote to Xhaka. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Martinez wins that. There we go. I can't believe it, Graham. Have you got that football on? It's about the structure. It's a bloody nightmare. Martinez is gone into the semi-final for Player of the Season. What do you think about that, Graham? I played the game, Jamie. Martinez. I wouldn't give him the steam off my piss. Martinez. I played the game. I wouldn't. It's a joke, Graham. It's a bloody joke. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. What time is the World Cup final tomorrow? Right, semi-final, first semi-final, player of the season so far, voted by you, the That's Football community. So it's Erling Haaland against Kevin De Bruyne. It's like Brazil versus Argentina, or maybe it should be the final. Haaland or De Bruyne for player of the season so far? I don't care. It's a bloody joke that where's Salah? Where's Van Dijk? Where's bloody Harvey Elliott? What the fucking's going on with Martinez? I can't fucking believe it, Graham. I can't fucking believe it. Where's the structure? Salah. Calm. I played the game, Jamie. This is what happens. Liverpool. No one likes us. I played the game. I fucking played the game. 3-2. It's a joke. I've got to stop. I've got to stop. Anyway, second half is coming out. I've just realised we've got no Liverpool players in Player of the Season so far. Is that a mistake? Because I wouldn't put Darwin Nunez in there yet. I think Van Dijk's had a bad start to the season. Trent's had a bad start. Robertson's been injured. But I do think, ridiculously, second half's just kicked off here. Ridiculously, I do actually think we have missed out a Liverpool player from being in there. And you know who I think should have been in there? Alisson. Alisson has been brilliant for Liverpool this season. Look, I'm a big fan of Mo Salah, even though he plays for Liverpool. I think he's massively underrated. But Alisson's been brilliant this season. Absolutely brilliant. Firmino has been good as well. So, yeah, I think it's... Maddison didn't make it either. I think sometimes when your team's not doing well, sometimes you switch off, don't you, a bit? We've put 2 Newcastle players in, 2 Man City players in, 2 Arsenal players in, all from the top 4. We've probably have missed a few out there. We should do Player of the Season outside the top 4. That would have been good. Goalkeepers never win anyway. TX is right. Nice ball in here. Mandy's off his line quick. Haaland is beating De Bruyne here. The irony of this is that Haaland wouldn't have scored all these tap-ins if it wasn't for De Bruyne. So De Bruyne probably should win because he's provided so many brilliant balls in for Haaland. But again, this has always been the biggest moan of any player who's not a striker. The strikers always get the glory. Look at all the Ballon d'Or winners. I think Chelsea have made a sub here. Let me just load this up again. I'm pretty sure. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Who knows which way this is going to go? But I think Chelsea might have made a sub. Unless I'm getting it completely wrong. Yeah, Pulisic is not playing right centre-back. I think they've gone to a back 4. So Pulisic is on for Chelsea. Excuse the formation there. He's not playing at right centre-back. But he has come on for Chalobah. So he's gone to a back 4 there. Irrelevant, but do you rate Arctic Monkeys, says Chris. I don't mind them. I think it's a bit cruel putting monkeys in the Arctic. But no, I know you're talking about music, really. Yeah, I don't mind them. They wouldn't be one of my favourite bands, but yeah. Mark, you cracked me up something special, and trust me, I've played the game, says the Inquisition. I'm going to count down. Haaland is going to win this. He's got 52%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Haaland wins Player of the Season so far against De Bruyne. I will always have my say. Cross comes in, cleared away by Chelsea. That is a nonsense. I'm sorry, that is, in my opinion, and I'm allowed my opinion, but look, 5,000 of you have voted. I'm not going to, I moaned about Brexit. So, but it was democracy. And if you do a poll or a vote and you're on the losing side, you can't moan about democracy. But Haaland getting more votes than De Bruyne is a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense, in my opinion. De Bruyne is the creator, and I don't think Haaland scored a goal outside the penalty box this year, has he? But yeah, look, fair play. Haaland's probably going to win the whole thing, isn't he? I did say that from the start. Okay, second semi-final. We move on. We've got Ivan Toney against Lisandro Martinez. Get voting. Hopefully we're going to see a better second half here. Oh, well done. Good play by Hall. Koulibaly brings it out. And Chelsea looking to be a little bit more innovative on the break. I don't think this will finish 0-0, by the way. There seems to be a lot more intensity from both sides here in the second half. am starving, you know. I need to order myself some food. It is going end to end at the moment. Cross comes in from Trippier. It's not bad to the back post. Almiron! Great save by Mendy. Comes to the edge of the box. Blocked by Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes. That was the chance for Newcastle. They worked it really well. Trippier put it up to the back post. Headed down. Good block. And over the bar now. It was Matty or Sean Longstaff. That's Sean. Matty's not there anymore. But this was lovely play by Newcastle. They finally got that going. Trippier, lovely cross to the back post. And I think it was Matty Longstaff again, wasn't it? Who got the shot in there? 2 blocks anyway. Good defending by Chelsea. You've got to say that. I'm only ordering for myself and I'm being quite greedy here. What takeaway are you going to get, Mark? Says Tumbleweed. Well, I'm doing this live here at the moment. It's really close between Martinez and Toney. Get your votes in. Player of the season so far, second semi-final. I'm just doing my order while you're voting there, whilst also watching the game. Is this a bit much for one person, considering this is only for me? This is only for me. I'm not sharing it with anyone else. Chicken pakora, chicken tikka masala, garlic naan, 2 poppadoms, pilau rice, and a sag paneer. So I don't think that is too much. You know, not if you're just grazing. But it is quite a lot. No, a lot of people are saying no. I think they're right. I'm going to go for a big walk afterwards. Rapid says it's not too bad. I order half the menu at KFC. It's a Saturday night as well. Not enough, a few people are saying. Newcastle are pushing here. Loads of people saying go for it, Goldbridge. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for that. Check out. What do you mean? Right, Chelsea's turn to attack. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna enjoy this. Get it delivered. Get it delivered. This is really close between Martinez and Toney. I was just about to count down, but it's 51% at the moment, so we'll keep going. Lovely stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to get a beer as well with it. Don't you worry about that. I've got 2 in the fridge, Ethan. I predicted a draw in this. We're only 100 subscribers away from 806,000. You know the next watch-along we're doing on this channel? Ecuador against Qatar a week on Sunday. I just realised I'm doing Man United Fulham on the United Stand tomorrow. So yeah, next watch along is World Cup. Right, I'm going to count down from 51%. It's been stuck on this for a while. Martinez is on 51%. Tony's on 49%. If you've only got a few more seconds to vote, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it rest. Let it rest. Let it reset. If it's 50-50, oh my God, 50-50. I tell you, saved that. That's like a last-minute equaliser by Tony. It's 50-50. We've got to keep it open a little bit longer. Keep your votes coming in. It's our second semi-final to play Erling Haaland in the final for Player of the Season so far. 50-50. Martinez, a revelation at Manchester United. Loads of criticism from Carragher and I played the game, Nunez and everybody else, but he's been a revelation at Man United. Played with different centre-backs nearly every week. And then Ivan Toney with 10 Premier League goals in 4 games. Chris Gary says, Group B prediction. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling the buzz. Are you feeling the buzz around the World Cup this year, says Matty? Not yet. I think after tomorrow, I'll start doing some content and stuff around it. And yeah, we'll get into it. It'll be fine. I should have ordered it earlier. It's going to take fucking ages to come. I normally order my Chinese or Indian at about 5:10 and eat it at 6. Do it this time of night. It's when everyone else is doing it, isn't it? It's like going to the supermarket on a Saturday afternoon or getting your petrol on a Sunday morning. It's when all the pigeons do it. Or sheep, pigeons. Although pigeons do flock around shit and bread. I don't know what to do with this. Mark, is it true you find chicken tikka spicy? No, I don't. I keep saying to people I'd like to try a spicier curry than tikka masala or butter chicken, but I go with what I want. I go with what I do. Get ready for the sprint race, says Tumbleweed. Yeah, 7:30. I'll be watching that. I will be watching it because this will finish just in time, won't it? I don't know what to do here. Tony and Martinez are split on 50-50. Thoughts on Andrew Tate, says Cody. Not really the time. It's not really the time anyway at the moment. It's been a bad week influencer-wise. It's been a weird week, hasn't it? And I just think, I've always felt that space, and I've spoken to Jack Mate about this in the past, and I know he's sort of moved away from that sort of content as well. If you're one of those people who does like content that, I suppose it's beef content, isn't it? Where you're talking about a lot of things, and I just, it can bite you in the ass. I've got the casting vote, so it will go to Lissandro, says Sky Girl. Well, I can end it, and there will be a winner in the back system. We've done this before. Although it says 50-50, there will be a winner. You've just got to monitor the chat, because when you close the poll, it gives you the exact breakdown. And what I mean is, it could be like 50.9 for Tony and 49.1 for Martinez. So it will happen, and I'm going to do it. But keep your eye out in the chat, because I can probably screenshot it and tweet it as proof anyway. That Carragher and Souness impression was epic. I want to see it all over TikTok. I want to see it all over Twitter. Actually, I would see it on Twitter. I wouldn't see it on TikTok because I'm not on it. Who would win a 50-50? I've played the game or Scooby-Doo. Also, can you say Morgan is deluded, please? Says Kinky. Morgan Withers. Who would win? I've played the game or Scooby-Doo. In their prime, he was a nasty. But you want to watch Souness? Some of the tackles he put in. There was one he put in that was assault, absolute assault. Right, I'm going to close this poll, and then we're going to see who won. Watch out in the chat. There will be a winner. I'm ending it now. Keep an eye in the chat because it will do it. It's going to come through. And it was Tony. Tony won it. Look, player of the season so far. 50% for Tony. 49% for Martinez. What does that mean? It meant that Tony basically had 50.5 or something like that. And Martinez had 49.5, which adds up to 100. So Tony has beaten Martinez. There you go. What a turnaround considering Martinez had the early lead. So there you go. You can't say fairer than that. Jason says you do Football Manager on Twitch. I've never used it. Do you have to pay for it? No, Twitch is a gaming platform. Twitch is different to YouTube. They are different companies, but they have a live chat. You just log on and you watch it. It's different to YouTube. If you're used to YouTube, Twitch is a bit different, but it is free to watch, yeah. You can always catch my highlights on here. Right, the final of the poll. This seems like it's been going on forever. Haaland against Tony. How many goals would Tony have if he was playing for Brentford? No, he does play for Brentford. How many goals would Tony have if he played for Man City? Or more importantly, how many goals would Haaland have playing for Brentford? Would he have scored as many as Tony? You're the voters. Let's have a look at these match stats. Newcastle having more possession, more shots. Chelsea sort of second half are struggling. Newcastle have really gone up a gear second half, haven't they? There's not much attacking threat from Chelsea, but they break away now with Broha. Does well and then gives the ball away. Got to be bringing Aubameyang. Got to bring Aubameyang on. Haaland goes into an early lead, but we've seen Tony come back before. I'll play you on FIFA, says Tumbleweed. I'm not playing FIFA at the moment, mate. I'm all on Football Manager. Check out the highlights. It's great. I'm loving it. At international level, Bale or Sterling, says Kobe. Well, it'd be Bale. Shoot, Kovacic. Oh, straight at the Newcastle player. Edge of the box. Bruno Guimaraes. No foul. Play on, says the referee. Chances of Brighton getting into Europe, says Stu. They're very impressive. They're playing Villa tomorrow. That'd be a big game for them. If they win tomorrow, they move up to potentially 6th place. They'll leapfrog Chelsea and Liverpool as things stand. I mean, look, Brighton are defying logic as it is. Whether they can get into Europe or not, I'd say probably not. Can you call my mate Luke a bunny, please? Says Happy. And chances of Brighton getting into Europe, says Stu. Yeah, we've done that one. Deserby, isn't it? Deserves praise, says Alex. Arsenal can win the league, says Nelly. Well, the thing Arsenal fans need to be careful of is if they win tonight, they're going to end up with favourites for the league. Now that is not what Arsenal fans want. I know a few Arsenal fans, and they're like, I'm fed up of people talking about us winning the league. We just want to go game to game and get top 4 and see where it takes us and everything like that. They won't like being favourites because they shouldn't be favourites. I think even if they were 10 points clear, they wouldn't be favourites because they've not won a title for 20 years. Chad says that impression sounded like Carragher when he accidentally sits on his nuts. I've had to sit here for 10 minutes trying to stop laughing, says Chad. I'm going to have to listen back to this. Who do you think will be the next team to win the Premier League? Good shot there from Chelsea. Who do you think will be the next team to win the Premier League who hasn't won it before, says Daniel? Newcastle. Good shot by Conor Gallagher, that. Good save by Pope. That's a good save by Pope, that is. It was better than I thought. "25 minutes to go." Yeah, make sure you watch the Football Manager highlights on this channel. It's been a brilliant, brilliant series. Loving it. Corner to Chelsea. Goldbridge did predict a draw in this one. Of course, Spurs haven't won the Premier League, so if they won it before Newcastle, they would win it first. First team to win it who's not won it before. Yeah. It'll be Newcastle. Newcastle will win the league at some point with that sort of wealth. Callum Wilson's coming on. Off to the World Cup as well. Oh, Haaland's won, by the way. He's got 59%, so let's close the poll. Well done to Erling Haaland. He is your player of the year so far. I wasn't surprised by that, but I will say what I said at the start. Personally, I don't think he is player of the year. Brilliant striker, best striker in the world, but most of his goals are brilliant positioning and brilliant finishing. But I think that there are people like Almiron. Goal for Newcastle! Almiron plays it off to Willock, and that's the goal for Newcastle. It has been coming. I was just saying there are players like Almiron who are defying logic in this Newcastle side. Skips inside, lays it off to Willock, and it's 1-0 Newcastle. Goal Newcastle. They lead 1-0, and I don't know whether there's a way back for Chelsea here. They just do not seem to have any cutting threats. It's been a very equal game, but you felt if Newcastle scored, they would win this game. And at the moment, they have got a firm hold on going back. Is it third in the Premier League and be third in the Premier League on Christmas Day? Opinion on Henderson in Sky's Team of the Year, says Smuller. What? Jordan or Dean? Neither. Mark, I need your opinion. My bird will allow me to get some if I have your face on a shirt, but I can't get any if I don't have the shirt, says Wycott. That's just weird. Lovely finish by Willock. Almiron was going to shoot, lays it off. Willock hits it with a bit of curl. In fact, you know what? It's a very similar shot to the shot Conor Gallagher had a couple of minutes ago that Pope saved, but Mendy did not save this. And it's 1-0 to Newcastle with 23 minutes to go. Potter! It'd be such a shame if it goes bad for Potter, though. Massive fan of his. He's got to be given time. He's trying to build a team that was parking the bus. I mean, look, again, I think it's naivety from Chelsea fans who just don't know the style of football that Potter played. You've been a park the bus, boring side under Tuchel, and he's now trying to get players that Tuchel bought to play a more expansive style of football. Dean was on Saturday's Socials Team of the Year, says Smuller. What the fuck? Who was on Saturday Social this week? What were they drinking before? I have never heard such nonsense in all my life. I thought it was a joke. Dean Henderson, goalkeeper of the year. Do they actually watch football? His distribution is long ball. He's conceded shitloads of goals. No way. Where's Alisson in this conversation? Where's De Gea in this conversation? Where's Ederson in this conversation? Where's Robert Sanchez in this situation? God, no. Never in a million. That is appalling. Whoever's done that should be banned from being on Sky ever again. Kiefer Moore to be top scorer in the World Cup, says Kobe. Me and Ben Foster are going to talk about that on the Football Fill-In on Monday. That's absolutely ridiculous if that's true. Absolutely ridiculous. Nick Pope's another one. David Raya's another one. I've never heard such shit in all my life. Absolute nonsense. He's not even been one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the Premier League this year. He hasn't. I'm not joking. He hasn't been that good. Mark Potter is a good coach, but come on, getting rid of Tuchel was even more ridiculous looking back. Connor, Tuchel had burnt his bridges at Chelsea. People thinking it was an option to keep hold of Tuchel have got no idea what was going on at Chelsea. Politically, he had to go. He'd lost parts of the dressing room as well. He had to go. Whether you agree with it or not, he had to go. So Potter's going to need time. They need that January transfer window, and they need it now. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I should be able to change the number now, hopefully. Yeah, we're nearly on 806,000. We're only 100 away. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. I tell you what, we are on the way to Goldbridge's Indian takeaway. I'm bloody starving. Straight after this game, I'm on it. Bottle of beer, tikka masala, rice, naan, mango chutney. F1 sprints. London is red, says Zane. Oh, mango chutney's for goats. Oh, and I don't mean them furry sheep things. I mean, it is for goats. I love mango chutney. I love it. Absolutely love mango chutney. But then again, I know some people that do not like fruit on hot food. Sorry, I've tweeted what I was just listening to there. I wasn't being ignorant. Havertz comes on. Havertz comes on. What am I watching? And now my keeper's getting into fights. I've seen a clip of Cal the Dragon getting into a fight as well. God, the world's going mad. What's happening to the world at the moment? That's my keeper. I have to find his wages now. That's my YouTube All-Stars keeper getting into a fight. I say a fight. It's more of a push and a shove. He's probably, you know what? I haven't got the audio on, but he's probably been wound up again. People need to leave the lad alone. Chelsea on the attack. They've got to push now. 15 minutes to go. Oh, he's tweeted about it. He says, I thought I'd explain myself. Unnecessary actions of what happened today. I feel guilty for such a stupid decision from me. I would like to apologise to those who saw such a bad thing. I know I'm better than that. Shouldn't ever do it. Promise you I'll never do it again. Say what you will, but that Tuchel makes a lovely cuppa, says Stu. Mark, the audience are pulling your legs. Saturday Social picked Nick Pope, and they also picked Martinez for centre-back, says Hazib. Thank you for that. I don't mind being... The joke's on me. That's fine, as long as that reality wasn't true. Callum Wilson's coming on now. What's the story with St Maximum, then? Is he injured, or... I know he was injured. Is he... Is he just coming back from injury? Will says Liverpool will get top 4. I agree with you, Will. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do think that Liverpool will get top 4. Apparently, Sir Maximin's not ready yet, says Isaac. Well, he needs to get his bloody boots on and get ready. Can you see Chelsea coming back into this, Mark? Mark, if you manage YouTube All-Stars again, play 4-4-2 or a false 9, says Kinky. Mate, you got to do with what the players you got. I wish it was that simple. We didn't even have any bloody centre backs, so you go with what you got. This is what I mean about Newcastle, though. They've done so well. They've still got Isaac to come back, and St Maximum's not really been playing that much. So they've still got so much quality to come back. For Chelsea to come back into this, they need to create a chance. I know I sound like Michael Owen there, but that's been their biggest problem. To be fair to Cal, the guy did walk up and grab his throat, says Liverpool. Exactly, this is what I mean. People think that they've got a right just because you're an influencer to go up and get in your grill, and they haven't. I'm fortunate. I think a lot of you are fortunate. I watch a lot of football. That's why I do the Ben Foster show, because I watch all the games at the weekends. And watching lots of football, you get to know who the good players are and who aren't. And my top 5 goalkeepers of the season so far, not in any particular order, would be David De Gea, Alisson, Sanchez at Brighton, Nick Pope, and I think Ramsdale's done well. I think the Brentford keeper Raya's done well. I wouldn't actually put Ederson there. I think Ederson's a very good goalkeeper, but most of the time he doesn't have anything to do, and they've conceded a lot of goals. Meslier at Leeds. He's had some good games, but I don't think consistently across the season he's up there with those players that I've seen. And again, Martinez at Villa, I do like him, but I don't think he's had the best season so far. How long till Chelsea owners fire Potter, says Drez. Look, you never know with Chelsea, but for me, Potter is a project manager. You've got to look at Arteta. You've got to look at Klopp. More Arteta, really, and go, look at what Arteta did at Chelsea, at Arsenal. And people will say, well, Arteta won an FA Cup. Yeah, but come on, they also finished 8th twice, didn't they? The football was crap when they won the FA Cup. It was part the bus. You cannot sack Potter until you've given him the January. You've got to give him the chance to buy some players. You can't just give him Tuchel's summer and say, well, you didn't do very well. You've got to give him time. But this is a great... But look, more importantly, let's talk about Newcastle for a minute. If you look at that league table on the screen now, that's live. They are third. If they win this game, they are third. They are 2 points off Manchester City. Yeah, they played a game more, but Newcastle third. They would be 9 points ahead of Chelsea. They would be 8 points ahead of Liverpool. They would be 7 points ahead of Manchester United. And this league table is not going to change before Christmas. So, I mean, I think Newcastle to me are a contradiction. Newcastle fans are loving it. Fair play. You've won the lottery, literally. Well done. But I speak to a lot of people about Newcastle, and it's like, put respect on Newcastle's name. They're almost like, people are treating them like they're Leicester. Oh, they're defying the odds. They're not defying the odds. They're the richest club in the world. And when they get top 4, good night. They'll never leave again, because the money will then get really spent. So Newcastle deserve loads and loads of praise. How I describe Newcastle is they're ahead of schedule. With the team they've got and the manager they've got, I don't really think they should be getting top 4, but they bloody deserve it, and they're playing really, really well. Lovely crossing by Cucurella. Chelsea are pushing now. It's like the 90s Newcastle. They used to be in the top 4 but never won anything, says Frentas. They're doing really well. Eddie Howe's done a great job. Guimaraes, Almiron, Joel Linton, Wilson, the defenders like Byrne and Botman and Trippier, Pope. If they didn't have the money, I still think they'd be where they are. Their money is going to make them get better and better, but they are defying the odds. But they have got that money behind them as well. Mark, you should do a daily video on United stand during the World Cup on how United players did the day before and go in depth on their performance. This is Ebe. I'll think about it. Hey, don't go down injured for ages. I've got a curry on the way. I'm starving. Got an injury now. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. You're all very welcome. On That's Football. Remember, we're going to be doing all the World Cup watch-along, so you may as well get involved. 50 subscribers away from 806,000. Reminds me, keep your eyes peeled on Monday. One of the most exciting things I've done. Really, it's a personal thing. I'm not about to start doing bloody keep-ups with Ronaldo or, hot tub with Messi. It's nothing like that. It's something with me in it. But it's a bucket list thing for me, and I'm really excited about it. It's coming out on Monday. Almiron or De Bruyne this season, Mark, says Lewis. Well, De Bruyne is the better player, but I think contextually, Almiron is doing things that no one thought he could do. So you've got to say Almiron. Thoughts on Potter out trending? To me, I think it's ridiculous. Like Pep won nothing in his first season, says Nathan Allen. I don't understand the football fan who's saying Potter out. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, of course, it's not acceptable for Chelsea to be losing games, but you are basically at the start of a project, and yes, you've got lots of good players, but if those players don't suit the way that he wants to play, and we saw it with Rangnick. It was a bloody nightmare at Man United. Rangnick got loads of stick in the end from the press. They're idiots. Rangnick came into Man United halfway through a season where the players were conditioned to park the bus and counter-attack. And Rangnick wanted to play a high-energy press passing through the lines, and the players just couldn't do it. So we kept losing. Similar things going on at Chelsea. You bring in a manager halfway through the season. Sorry, you bring in a manager in September when the transfer window's shut who wants to play a completely different style of football, and then fans won't be patient for it. As someone who saw Almiron play and grow at Atalanta United, I'm really stoked he's finally hitting the levels he can, says Parth. FIFA series is not finished, Hassan. It's coming back after the World Cup. Of course, during the World Cup, I won't be able to play FIFA because there's like 4 games a day and stuff like that. So it's just been paused until after the World Cup, and I'm doing Football Manager at the moment. Don't forget, next Saturday, it's my charity stream on this channel. Raising money for people with terminal illness. We do it every year in the middle Saturday in November. I'll be playing some FIFA on that. I'm going to do like World Cup FIFA and stuff like that. So yeah, that will be back then. Do some drafts as well. Do I think Newcastle will finish top 6? Right now, I'd say yes, they will. It's difficult though. It's like trying to put elephants in a mini. You can't fit everybody in, and Man City will finish top four. Arsenal will finish top four. I believe Liverpool will finish top four. So that leaves Spurs, Newcastle, United, Chelsea. 4 teams for one spot, as far as I'm concerned. And of course, one of them will have to finish 7th as well. Mark, Newcastle finishing top 4 means that the Glazers are finished. Clubs cannot finish in top 4 by default anymore, says YUFC. Newcastle are not in Europe. Newcastle will spend in January. These are big, big advantages for them as well. Noah's laughing at me saying Liverpool will get top 4. Oh, people laughed at me when I said Nunez will be a good striker as well. I'm telling you, Liverpool will get top 4. You can predict what you like. Liverpool will get top 4. They are 6th with 22 points. They have a game in hand on Newcastle and Spurs, and they would be 4 and 5 points behind them. I also think Liverpool will probably get knocked out of the Carabao Cup next month and may well get knocked out of the Champions League in February, so they'll have a lot of spare time. Tell you what, Liverpool have got a tough run of games after Christmas though. Like they've got Villa away on Boxing Day, then they've got Leicester at home, Brentford away, Brighton away. 3 away games out of the next 4. Wouldn't mind it if Antonio at United, says Ray. Brentford won't let him go till the summer, mate. He won't be going anywhere till the summer. I'm so hungry. So hungry. If there's any justice in the world, I will be a man. Man United need money, says Lucy. I could do with a Chelsea equaliser here as a United fan. It's not good for United that these Spurs and Newcastle wins are not good for United or Liverpool or Chelsea. They're not. We are the chasing pack at the moment, and the consistency of Newcastle is ridiculous as well. Can I just draw attention to that? And can we just sit and praise Newcastle? 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. Would this not be 5 wins in a row in the Premier League? It's crazy form, and it's not like. It's not like they haven't played difficult games, Newcastle. If you look at their next game, that sounds like it's my curry. I might just grab it. There should be somebody to get that. I think someone's going to get it. Well done. Someone got it for me. Don't have to get up. The way Tony reads the game, the way... oh, thanks. Just pop it on that table for me. Fine. Got loads. You might be able to have some. The way Tony reads the game and the way he scores, he helps others. Tony on end of Ericsson crosses, Tony on the end of Varane. Long ball makes sense as Reyes. 7 minutes added on. I've got a bloody curry. It's going to go cold. I'm going to bloody laugh. Marketing James. Spurs made a mistake selling Trippier. Can you put the oven on? 200. Because I'm gonna have to heat it up. So good. Gonna be so good. Then I can put the F1 Sprint on straight away and dig into my naan bread and curry. I do have a microwave, but I don't like reheating rice. There's something about reheating rice, if anybody knows anything about that. You'll be really careful at reheating rice. I can't remember what it is. Liverpool will play United, Spurs, Chelsea at Anfield in the second part and fully fit. They are better squad. They have the advantage, says Brentas. Joko says, I love your Football Manager series. Keep it up. Give it a watch. Catch up with the Football Manager series. It's great. You've got a couple of days now before I do my next one. Is Grealish the biggest flop in Man City history? Says the man. I mean, I liked Grealish at Aston Villa. I really did. I think he should have come to United, but that wasn't his fault. I was very surprised I was very excited when Man City bought him because I thought if Pep Guardiola is paying that money for Grealish, he must see something in him. And then he's not really used him as much as I thought he would. But Alpha Video says Costa Coffee vouchers for Christmas, Mark. If you know, you know. I can't remember what that's all about. Is great. Yeah, thank you very much. Tikka masala, mate. Don't you be eating any of it yet. You better not be eating any of it now. All right. I thought he was tucking in. Thoughts on Nunez today, says Ajit. I think Nunez is a good player. I'd love him. I would have loved him at Man United, and I still would have loved him at United a month ago when people were saying he was crap. He's going to score a lot of goals and he's going to get better and better. Not everybody's Erling Haaland, who just comes into the league with loads and loads of brilliant balls into the box and finishes them. You know, he's come into a Liverpool team that's been struggling. Haaland's come into a Man City side that's been playing very, very well. So I think Haaland has been a slower burn than Haaland. I think Nunez has been taken longer to get going, but I think he'll be good. I don't think he'll be as good as Haaland either. I think Haaland's, probably the greatest striker in the world at the moment, but Nunez will be a success. Are you just going to do the England games in the World Cup, says Connor? No, we've got loads. Loads. We'll be doing loads. Chart show on the United stand is dropping at 7:30, by the way, if you want to check that out. So straight after this, big win for Newcastle this. Really could have done with a draw. 2 minutes to go. Can't see Chelsea scoring. I think that's been the big problem with Chelsea. Just can't see them scoring. What are Chelsea's games, Mark, after the comeback of football? Don't think Chelsea will get top four. I think it's a big ask for them to get top four. So they play Bournemouth at home on the 27th of December. Then they've got Forest away. Then they've got Man City. Then they've got Palace at home. So, yeah, I mean, Chelsea have got some winnable games, but they've got to start scoring goals. They need to get to January and they need to spend and they need to be working on that. Chelsea need to be working on business now. I've heard about Nkunku coming in January. They need to be working on business now and get them in early January. Do you think Arsenal can win the league if they continue after the World Cup? And what are the odds of England getting knocked out of the group stage as WSD? I'm doing a poker tournament on Monday night, by the way. I should have mentioned that. I'm doing a poker tournament on Monday night. If you want to get involved, just keep an eye on my content. I'll be putting the details out soon. Arsenal are probably going to end up being favourites for the title if they win tonight. They won't want that, but that may well be the case. I think England will get out the group. I've got a funny feeling England will grind their way to the semi-final and Southgate will get a new contract. But Cross comes in, headed away. Mendy's not in goal here. If Joel Linton is clever, he got it wrong. Cucurella, wild, Kovacic overruns it. And there's some wild tackles going in from Newcastle, but they're working. Don't forget, everybody, do not forget, so I'm going to just make it pause on the screen now. We are sponsored by Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Lawnmower 4.0 delivered to your door. With the code FOOTY, you can get 20% off. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. And Chelsea are on the attack here. We have gone past the time. The referee's about ready to blow. Pulisic has been caught. There's a foul. There's a chance to whip a cross in for Chelsea. This will be the last bit of action. Huge win for Newcastle on the horizon. Not the result I wanted as a United fan. Could have done with a draw. But it's a huge win for Newcastle if they get it. Eddie Howe's doing all sorts of stuff. All sorts going on here. And he's now going to book a sub for getting in the way of Cucurella. Why is Eric Ten Hag's assistant always wearing an earpiece, says Mark? Well, Carrick used to do it as well. I think they're getting information from data stats and all sorts of stuff like that. Football Manager will be on Monday afternoon, George. Well, this game's now gone for 10 minutes of added time. This referee's a prat. 8 minutes in the bloody 8.5 minutes when I'm waiting for my curry. And he blows up. It's a big win for Chelsea. Eddie Howe has a cuddle. Potter won't be very happy. Havertz, there's a bit of something going on here. All sorts of pushing going on. Oh dear. Just pushing and shoving going on the pitch. I don't know what it's Burn and Havertz. But, yeah, frustrations and tempers overgrown there. A lot of work to be done for Chelsea. But Newcastle, they roll on. Anyway, Newcastle up to third, says Jack. And, yeah, that's that. I will be doing Fulham against Manchester United tomorrow on That's Football. And now I'm going to enjoy my curry. Thank you very much, everyone. Lots of people saying go and enjoy your curry. Thanks, everyone, for watching. It's been a good stream. I enjoyed the poll at half-time. Don't forget Manscaped, delivered to your door, 20% off with the code FOOTY, free worldwide delivery. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching.